Welcome to downtown Milwaukee. Big East college basketball. Marquette hosting Chicago State, two of the best guards of the Big East Conference. Andrew Rousey and Marcus Howard. They're ready to take on Chicago State at home, make it 3 wins in a row. Big East College Hoops on FS2 is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Welcome to Milwaukee in the BMO Harris Bradley Center in downtown. It's Marquette and Chicago State. Non-conference Big East action for the Golden Eagles. And welcome courtside, everybody, along with Stephen Bardo, Jeff Levering with you. And Stephen, this Marquette team got tested by the Eastern Illinois a couple of days ago. Ended up coming with a win in overtime, but certainly battle-tested, and to come away with a win was huge for Marquette.
Especially coming back from Hawaii. They had a very good trip to Maui, had a little bit of hangover. That's to be expected. And Eastern Illinois is a much better team than people expected to play against Marquette. So the Golden Eagles came away with a very important victory.
Big reason why Marquette got that win. 30 points from Sam Hauser, career high.
Yeah, he shot the ball extremely well from three, 6 of 10 from three-point land, but he did a little bit of everything. You know, went inside and scored, and then all of a sudden, the game starts opening up for him. Teammates start looking for him, and he was hitting nothing but the bottom of the net on his three-point shot. So when you see the net move like that, Jeff, that's when you're hot.
Doing a little bit of everything, Sam Hauser, en route to that win on Monday in overtime. And for Chicago State, seems like this program's been building for a couple of years now. Tracy Dildy has got a couple of guys that he can build around. One of those is Fred Sims.
Yeah, Fred Sims actually dipped his baby toe into the NBA draft waters last year. It's a guy that can really score the rock, shoots the three extremely well, and he's got the ultimate green light. So it'll be a nice challenge for the backcourt of Marquette to limit his touches tonight.
Sims had 26 as a freshman in this building a couple of years ago. Now a junior. It's Marquette hosting Chicago State from downtown Milwaukee. We'll have it for you next on FS2. Inside the BMO Harris Bradley Center in Milwaukee. Marquette looking to make it 3 straight wins. This time against Chicago State. Last matched up against the Cougars a couple of years ago and beat Chicago State 91-74. Take a look at our starting lineups. They're presented by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Same starting 5 for Steve Wojciechowski in their win in overtime against Eastern Illinois a couple of days ago. And Sam Hauser with that career-high 30. Sakar Adam, though, he has done a nice job of being that scrappy front court player.
Yeah, and he's done a great job with that, the junkyard dog.
Chicago State for 8th-year head coach Tracy Dildy. And for Chicago State, again, Fred Simmons gets a lot of the publication, but Deontay Simmons has been really good of late.
He has been. A couple double-doubles, and really going to have a presence here tonight against the front line of Marquette.
That is Fred Sims right there, averaging better than 15 points a game this year. Put up 26 in this building a couple of years ago as a freshman. And his hair game is on point tonight.
You're right about that.
And Marcus Howard trying to become that point guard that Marquette has needed this year. Andrew Rousey's done a very nice job. Howard trying to pick up his game of late as our starting officials, Brian O'Connell, Alfred Smith, and Clarence Armstrong. Stephen, we saw Brian O'Connell a couple of weeks ago down in Illinois against DePaul, another Big East foe. That was quite the foul fest we had in that one. Let's hope for a clean game tonight.
Exactly. Yeah, hopefully he got that out of his system. They can play a little bit.
All 3 of those officials got that one out of their system that particular night as Marquette wearing the all-whites at home tonight. Immediately a touch inside to Hauser. You see a lot of zone from Chicago State. Hauser makes that extra pass. And now Rousey misses his first. Anthem had an easy putback, but he was fouled. He'll go to the line. See, Steve Wojciechowski, he was munching on some gum early and often on Monday, but team came away with a victory last time out. He's got all of his guys that he wants in his program now.
And you know what? That win is gonna pay dividends down the line. It doesn't look good right now over Eastern Illinois, but that's a quality team out of the Ohio Valley Conference. And later on down the line, that win will show up really well.
Sakar Annam makes a couple of free throws. Annam, who had 9 points and 7 boards in 29 minutes in that game on Monday night in overtime, and does the little things. Tonight he's going to be guarding Fred Sims.
See how far Chicago State likes to initiate their offense. A little faux motion is what I call it, just to try to move the defense and then let one of the guys go one-on-one.
Sims lets it fly early, and he knocks down his first 3 of the ball game over the top of Sakar Annam.
Yeah, see, so Sakar Annam going to be charged to guard Fred Sims Jr. And, you know, he's one of the guys in the country. I think he's top 20 in terms of three-point attempts for his team. So he lets it go early and often.
Inside, Matt Helt. Beautiful passing from Marquette.
Yeah, see that there's a kind of a matchup zone that Chicago State is playing, and there's a lot of holes in there if you can get good ball movement.
Chicago State coming off a loss their last time out against Drake. Burns trying to initiate the offense. Wide open look for 3, and it's knocked down by Montana Bird, shooting nearly 50% from beyond the arc this year.
Wow. Sam Hauser came up limping a little bit. I think he twisted his ankle or something, but he's gutting it out right now.
Saw early in Monday's game as Helt again underneath, had it ripped away by Anthony Harris, and Chicago State going the other way.
Wow, what a play by Harris. Typically when you come down like that, it's automatic foul.
Annam fouled, and they'll pick up the first one by Fred Sims. Sims picks up the personal foul. Tracy Dildy very happy to see the good start from beyond the arc.
You can't have much better defense than that. Sakar Annam was in great position, got a hand up, and then great ball movement by the Golden Eagles.
It's one of the keys to today's game for you. Got to pound the middle against the Chicago State team that is slightly undersized against Marquette.
For sure. And Marquette is doing a really good job of that, being very patient here early on.
Helt makes the extra pass. Howard from 3, dials up 3 more.
Yeah, the fans didn't like Helt giving that ball up, but look at one of the best three-point shooters in the country. Good decision.
His team likes to shoot threes. Marquette led the nation a year ago. 42.9% they hit from 3. That's a fun matchup to watch. The one that's in that far right corner right now, Montana Bird and Sam Hauser.
Both guys can score a number of different ways and mean so much to their teams.
Go underneath, Helt with a blocked shot, and Howard going the other way. Good help from Matt Helt. Now Annam driving the rack. Got a little too far underneath the hoop, takes out one of our cameramen and going the other way for Chicago State.
Hey, it looked like Sakar was trying to draw a foul instead of just going to make the shot.
Hauser with a rebound. Quick shot in the sequence for Chicago State. 1-point lead for the Golden Eagles. Rousey deep 3. He drills his first shot.
Well, when you can extend the defense to NBA range like Rousey, Hauser, Howard can, it's so difficult to defend.
And right now Marquette, good drive by Burns as he is fouled before the shot. No continuation. Marquette up by 4 as we take a look at our keys to success, sponsored by SoFi, offering smart solutions to help you reach your financial goals.
Yeah, Chicago State struggles to score the basketball. They barely get over 70 a game, so if they could get 3 players in double figures and take some pressure off of Fred Sims Jr., they could bode well for the Cougars. And in Marquette, we've seen it early. They're getting the ball inside almost each and every time. Nice balance thus far, attacking the paint.
Don't necessarily have to score in there, but just get the touches.
Exactly
in
right.
That painted area.
And soften up the defense a little bit.
Montana Bird too strong, and skying for the rebound, the hero from a couple of nights ago, Greg Elliott. There's Rousey. Deep 3. 300th in the career for Rousey.
Well, and he's got his sea legs back. Told us he was a little bit tired coming back from Maui, but he said he's ready to go tonight. I think that's very clear early on.
Offensive rebound by Jelani Pruitt. Sims from the elbow knocks down a jumper. For Rousey, he made just 1 3-pointer, and it came late in that ball game on Monday night. Finished that contest with 16 points, but 9 of those coming from the free throw line.
He was money when it was on the line, and That's what you like from your veteran ball players.
Howard, another deep three, and Marquette is hot to start.
They're getting really good looks. Chicago State not really adjusting very well defensively off of simple pick and rolls.
Elliott now D'ing up on Sims, doubled by Theo John. Pruitt spinning around, now Sims fires from three. Off the back of the iron, and Theo John collects his first rebound.
Fred Sims got that knuckleball rotation, that sidewinder twister action.
Hauser finds Rousey from the corner. Got another. It is raining threes in Milwaukee early. 5 out of 6 for the Golden Eagles to start.
Well, you want your senior to step up. Rousey doing just that. And if the defense doesn't get his hand up, hand down, man down.
Hangover is not prevalent today for Marquette. They have come out firing from three.
Yeah, when you have 6 made buckets on 5 assists, that means the ball is really popping. And Chicago State, Tracy Dilley, their head coach, has been around a long time. You have to give up something. But to this Marquette team, it can't be the three-point line. And the Cougars have been slow to respond defensively.
Rousey already with 9 points. He's made 3 of his first 4 shots. And for Chicago State, I mean, this is a team that kind of is a jump shooting team to begin with. They only shoot 29% from beyond the arc.
And a lot of times they just don't get easy looks. Everything is hard work.
Deontay Simmons down low, was muscled by Theo John. Pruitt able to put it back up and good.
That was a really good rebound in traffic by Pruitt. And there were several bodies in there, and he was able to come away with that rebound.
Greg Elliott on the floor for Marquette. Had 4 blocks and 4 steals. On Monday, they get it inside. Sakar Annam dishes it back out to Kane. Now back into Elliott, and Annam lays it up and in. How many guys touch the ball on that possession? You'll love that.
Yeah, you're right. Great inside-out attack. Ball gets in the paint. The defense collapse. Kick out. Dribble drive. Beautiful play.
Little help on defense from Theo John, but Burns able to get the layup. Chicago State hanging in there. 9-point game. Rousey finding the open man. That's Greg Elliott. Rare miss from 3 for Marquette.
Still a good look, and that's what Coach Wojo wants to see. Push the rock up, make the defense respond, and get good looks.
Speaking of help defense, right there, Sakar Annam did a great job of walling up on Deontay Simmons. And Marquette playing with an 8-man rotation right now. We talked about it a little bit on Monday. Hanif Cheatham, 3-year player at Marquette, deciding to leave the team as Jamal Kane misses his first shot of the night. Sims with the rebound. It's a pressure by Elliott. Chicago State going up the floor again. But the depth will be tested for Steve Wojciechowski for at least the next week. Jamal Kane with that rebound. He's going to play a big role, as well as Greg Elliott.
Yeah, those 2 freshmen are going to have to fill a huge need, because Hanif Cheatham did a lot of things for this ball club. Big guard, good defender. And so, you know, Kane and Elliott, as you mentioned, gonna have to really step up.
Steve Wojciechowski's roster, again, everybody on this Marquette team, he and his coaching staff have brought in 5 freshmen, 4 sophomore, 3 junior and a senior. Andrew Rousey sitting out the first year of the Wojciechowski era. But it's a young team. A lot of turnover, but a lot of enthusiasm with this program.
Well, and you look at the lineup right now, all freshmen and sophomore on the floor. So this is the future right here of Marquette basketball. Maybe throwing Harry Frawling and Easy Ed Murrow next year, but this is what you're going to be seeing here.
Talking about Ed Morrow, the transfer from Nebraska, he is the leader of this team right now, even though he's not eligible to play. Foul before the shot. And he is pretty much running practices from the players' standpoint, and that's a great thing. He's going to provide such depth on the front line next year for Marquette, but great opportunities for these young kids to learn from Ed.
No doubt about it. And he's coming from Nebraska, Big Ten body, knows how to work, and gives a little bit different perspective. Not a a vocal guy, but, you know, he's not afraid to speak his mind.
Chicago kid from Simeon High School, Ed Morrow. Get to know the name in Milwaukee, folks. Sims, fadeaway, tough shot, knocked it down.
There's no defense for that. You can tell Fred Sims has played a lot of unstructured basketball, meaning 21, pickup games, that type of thing, to create that kind of shot.
7-point lead for Marquette. Got a little cool from the perimeter. There's Kane again trying to stop the cold streak, and he does.
Boy, those two, Elliott and Kane, already on a string together. That's the second time they've connected on nice penetration and kick.
Three-point shooting for Marquette has been outstanding. 6 out of 9 so far as Glenn Burns goes to the rack, tied up with Theo John. Burns will go to the line when we come back, but Fred Sims, he's leading the way for Chicago State. But Jamal Kane has got the answer, knocking down another 3 for the Golden Eagles. They're up by 10. Steve Wojciechowski and company up by 10 on Chicago State. And Steve Wojciechowski's got to love the way that his club is sharing the basketball right now. 8 made field goals, 7 assisted.
Yeah, that's the way they want to play. Fast. The ball, if it's passed, can move faster than a guy dribbling almost every time. And they figured that out and really are cutting up the Cougars on the offensive end, getting pretty much any kind of shot they want.
And in just 5 minutes off the bench, Greg Elliott has 4 of those 7 assists.
Yeah, he understands as a freshman there's certain things you need to do to get on the floor. Your scoring can come if you do some of the other things first. And he's, you know, when guys have the patience, Jeff, to come into a program and take your time. Who wants to leave college early? I mean, I'd go back right now.
Spend those 4 years.
That's right. I mean,
best years of your life.
Best years of your life, and the bills are coming, baby. I mean, whether you like it or not. So you better enjoy college while you can.
It's one thing that you will always have to do is pay bills.
That's right.
They come whether you're ready for them or not.
That's right. And I don't know if most 18 to 22-year-olds grasp that concept.
Extra pass, Sakar Annam driving the rack. He's got the bucket and a chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, Annam is getting a chance to get some of his offense going. A guy that doesn't typically look to score a ton, but it's good to see when he's giving up his body, he's got an opportunity to drive, dribble, drive hard, straight line drive for him.
Pick up the freshman Jalen Stevens-Holmes. Just into the ball game, picks up a personal foul as Annam could not complete the 3-point play. Rob Shaw on the floor for the first time. He's got the basketball in his hands. Not for long though. Rousey trying to tip it away. Annam tried to tip it away too. Bodies on the floor and Shaw throws it away. Active hands from Marquette's defense.
Yeah, they sped Shaw up pretty badly there. He's just into the game and he's running a mile a minute. It's good defense though by the Golden Eagles.
Shaw did not play in the loss against Drake over the weekend. Shaw nearly forcing the turnover. Instead, it's going to stay with Marquette, trying to get around this pressure from Chicago State. Marquette finally able to get it in. Nearly took Sam Hauser's shoulder out with that pass. Rousey trying to draw contact. He made the 3 no matter what. Come on.
Got to be the most unique move in college basketball. And he gets away with it every single game.
It's in the scouting report. You know that. He's going to pump fake every time.
Yep.
And then go up with that left hand. He calls it the thing. Sims knocks down a 3 on the other end. He's in double figures.
And that's a thing right there from NBA range with a hand in your face. Fred Sims, never shy from distance.
It's a reason why he dabbled in the NBA draft. Jamal Kane, too strong. Annam battling and out to Shaw on the long rebound. Numbers for Chicago State. There's Sims again. Hand in his face, knocks down another.
Boy, he ran right to the 3-point line. Typically, you run for a layup. He runs for a 3-point shot.
He is not afraid to pull the trigger. He's got 13 points.
The leading scorer.
Rousey, short.
Oh, what a tip.
Play.
And you know what? You can look at his body, Jeff, and tell he's just beginning to figure out where the weight room is. But, boy, when he does, look out.
Very impressive. Jamal Cain, the freshman from Pontiac, Michigan.
Good job by Sam Hauser. Cut off the dribble drive.
Sims, 1-on-3. Nearly made the shot, battling for the offensive rebound. Pruitt put back good.
I like Jelani Pruitt. Undersized forward, but he knows where his bread is buttered, right there in the paint.
Transfer from West Florida. Rousey fires from 3 and an air ball. Not a good look there from Rousey. Bad shot there, but he makes this one look fun.
Well, Rousey just, we see this once a game. The up fake goes with the left, and then Fred Sims typically run to a layup. He runs to a three-point line. He hasn't had an open look all game, but he's knocking them down.
Sims so far, 5 out of 9 from the floor, 3 of 6 from distance.
You see, Coach Wojo got his starting 5 back in very quickly. Chicago State was starting to get a little bit of confidence.
8 to shoot. Good look inside and throwing it down, Deontay Simmons.
Well, I tell you what, Rob Shaw has made things happen coming off the bench. He had that turnover, but boy, he's done very well since.
Marcus Howard answers on the other end with a triple, though. Ends a 10-2 run for Chicago State.
Oh, that's a great job by Howard, stemming the tide there.
Howard perfect from the floor, 9 points, 3 of 3 from distance. Shaw trying to run the offense. Tough three-pointer. Come on, Fred Sims.
No arc, sidewinder, and the best hairdo in college basketball, Fred Sims Jr., getting busy here in the first half.
I can't even call that a mohawk. That's a Sims hawk.
That's a fro hawk.
Howard dials up another. He's 4 for 4.
Hey, I like it. If they keep leaving Howard open, find the open spot, set him up on the weak side, dribble into the paint, and look for him opposite.
Good old-fashioned shootout tonight. Go underneath and slamming it down again, Deontay Simmons.
What, Deontay Simmons? They found a little crease in that zone defense. Have the Cougars. They're starting to get some rhythm here on the offensive end.
Building that confidence. Howard is wide open on the wing. Now Annam driving, and Fred Sims breaks up the pass. 6-point lead for Marquette. Now the southpaw lefty fires too strong. Annam with a rebound.
I'm okay with that shot. He's done a lot of work, so you gotta let your interior guys touch the rock every now and then. I like that.
Rousey and Shaw, a little hand fighting on the perimeter. Trying to beat the zone. Howard driving. Teardrop. First miss of the day as Simmons rips down a board. Chicago State slowing things down a bit. Matt Hell working through the screen, and a foul on Marcus Howard, but Marcus Howard, he is hot from distance.
And he does a good job of finding the creases in the defense. You can see Tracy Dildy upset because you got the best three-point shooter wide open. Cougars, read the scouting report.
Seven-point lead right now for Marquette, as they are trying to build upon that lead, but Chicago State kind of making a little run. At one point, Marquette was up by 11 points, 21-10, but Chicago State starting to hit some threes.
Yeah, hitting threes, and then when Deontay Simmons got inside, it got a couple dunks. It gave them some balance that they haven't had.
A little bit of inside presence. Simmons, double-doubles in 2 of his last 3 games for Chicago State. See the freshman now on Sims, Greg Elliott. Simmons battling. Bird driving, little help defense, and a blocking foul called on Matt Help. And Tracy Dildy in his 8th year on the south side of Chicago. played at UIC, coached at DePaul. He has strong roots in Chicago.
No doubt about it, man. I'm telling you, he was a tough guard. Oh, he was tough to deal with. Had handles, was a junkyard dog type, just tough, tenacious. His teams resemble that.
UIC Hall of Famer 1995, State of Illinois Basketball Hall of Famer 1997.
Yeah, he could really get it. And I mean, he was known around the city back in the day as one of the tougher guards to go up against.
Got some pedigree. He's got a huge rock on his right hand. Championship ring.
Yep. His grandson was in attendance here earlier, so he was in heaven. Oh, yeah.
Look at that thing.
He's showing the bling.
His right arm's got to be stronger than his left just from lifting that ring.
Kind of like a tennis player, huh? I hear you. You know, this Cougars ball club, they seem to have figured out the three defense here a lot better. Kept going cold.
9 of 16 now from distance for Marquette. Started off as hot could get. Now Sims, deep three. Short, little bit of a heat check that time from Fred Sims.
Yeah, and it had everybody off guard, including himself. The way the ball ricocheted off the rim.
So Rousey and company with a 5-point lead. See if they try and go back inside. That's where they had a lot of success, just getting the touches inside the paint early on in this ball game for Marquette.
Oh, that was an offensive foul. Rousey got away with one.
Elliott trying to dribble around Chicago State. Shaw came in from the backside, poked it away. 13 seconds left on the shot clock.
So let's see some quick action on this inbounds play by Marquette. See if they can get a quick hitter like the Helt. Pick the picker.
Kind of in an awkward spot in that corner. Swinging it around, Elliott finds Rousey in the corner. Knocks that one down.
Greg Elliott has been excellent distributing the basketball. He drives so hard, Jeff, that the defense has to react. And once they do, he's got wide open shooters on either side.
5 assists for Elliott. Shot by Sims. A little short. Hauser with a rebound. Elliott with 5 assists so far. He had 2 in his first 6 games combined. There's Rousey. Another 3. And Helt tries for the offensive rebound. Fouled on the backside by Glenn Burns. That's what everybody loves here in Milwaukee. That hard battle inside. Matt Helt picking up that personal foul from Burns. But here's the motion from the offense.
I mean, it's around the horn, and then Greg Elliott does what he's been doing all half. Collapsing the defense with hard dribble penetration. And it's an easy look to his open teammates. Say the freshman's earning his minutes. He did against Eastern Illinois, had an outstanding game, but he's continuing that effort here tonight.
Rousey did not make a field goal in the first half on Monday. He's already got 15 points on 5 of 10 shooting. There's Howard from deep 3. Short, tip back, no. There was a foul down low. Elliott with the left hand nearly with the tip in. We'll step aside for just a moment. It's an 8-point lead for the home team, Marquette. 40-32 Marquette in Milwaukee. We'll go in the huddle with Steve Wojciechowski.
Got our matchup. We're back in 21. Man defense. Step up and take the challenge. When we get stuck, blow into Warriors game. We need to pick up the pace of the game. Guys, go, let's go. It's on.
Jeff, coach wants to see his guys push tempo. They want to get into the bench of Chicago State. So they want to keep the tempo and the pressure going on them. Look to push, spread the defense out. They're getting great looks from threes. 10 of 19 so far from three-point land.
Started out 5 for their first 6, 5 for their last 13, but those wide open looks just haven't been there the way that they were in the first probably 8 minutes of this ball game because their tempo slowed down a bit.
Yeah, Chicago State's made some adjustments defensively and tried to slow them down. But I think that we're going to see in this last 3:56 that Marquette is going to really push the tempo here.
Elliott makes 1 out of 2. Freshman out of Detroit, Michigan. Again, really had a great game on Monday. Mostly on the defensive end. Had 4 blocks and 4 steals, including the game-saving block at the end of regulation. Nearly skied to block that one by Shaw, but instead the high-arcing runner goes in.
Shaw, he has really done a good job off the bench. I tell you what, you look at Elliott. I mean, he's 170 pounds soaking wet. But when he gets stronger, look out.
Theo John got pushed in the back, put back, no. And now Bird corrals that rebound. Theo John nice and strong inside, and he's only going to grow, just a freshman. Imagine him and Ed Morrow down there together.
Yes. And then Harry Frawling as well.
Rousey picks the pocket. Fast break. And Rousey lays it up and good. His first 2-point shot of the night.
Yeah, Rousey doing a good job. That's the second time he's gotten his hands active defensively on the perimeter.
17 first-half points for Andrew Rousey. Sims trying to take on the entire Marquette defense. Done a lot of the offense for Chicago State. Shaw gives it up. Burns couldn't get the layup, but he's going to go to the line. Fouled by Theo John. Go back to Rousey's defense.
Look at Rousey right there. Stick his head in the fray, come up with a loose ball, and gets it up on the glass quickly so a shot blocker can't come. So Rousey, you could tell his legs are back.
I mean, it's no joke, the island effect going out to Maui and then coming back, especially when you're in the central time zone. You're losing 7 hours.
That's right. And Jeff, it makes a difference. We went out 3 times when I played Illinois to Hawaii. And it takes at least a week and a half to really get back and get adjusted.
Even if you're flying commercial, if you're flying charter, doesn't matter. It's still a long flight to get out there. It's a different way of life out on the islands. It's a different pace. You got to get back used to it.
Yeah, and then you come back to the Midwest and get shocked again. It's like, not Maui anymore, partner.
Some cool sunglasses, though, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Parting gifts. And they came home 2-1. Only loss was to Wichita State. Is Hauser with the right hand, and he's got the bucket. First points of the night for Sam Hauser.
That's a good move because I was concerned about his ankle. He rolled that ankle earlier in the game, but when you make a drive like that against pressure, that's a good indication.
Burns trying to cut through the defense, and an offensive foul on Glenn Burns. Second on Burns. Charge drawn by Marcus Howard.
Marquette doing a good job now of cutting that dribble penetration off in the lane. It's a lot of guys that were in there who were living in that lane in the first part of the first half. Now things are closing up nicely.
9-point lead as Chicago State goes man on man. Played a lot of zone early on in the ball game. Rousey, good ball fake. 8 to shoot for Marquette. Rousey, deep 3. Little short. That was from a different zip code.
Coach Wojda didn't like that too much.
Layup, no problem for Glenn Burns. Good ball movement that time from the Cougars.
Well, you figured Chicago State would play better tonight coming off of their close loss to Drake. They were up double digits, and there was a series of runs in that game.
Kane, too strong. Hauser tip out to Howard from the corner. Drilled it. 10-point lead for the Golden Eagles.
Sam Hauser is so skilled, and he just doesn't get a lot of credit for the things he does for his team.
Getting at 30 his last time out on Monday. As Shaw drives, and with the left hand got the roll. Rob Shaw's had a great first half for Chicago State.
Yes, he has. Been one of those scorers. We talked about keys for Chicago State. They needed 3 players in double-digit scoring. He's going to be one of them. They need another to go along with he and Fred Sims.
Sims has 16, Burns with 7. There's Howard launching again. Sims taps the ball out. Chicago State can play for the final possession of this first half.
I'm telling you, Jeff, the Cougars having been down double digits to find their way right here. The team that only scores 70 points a game, they got 40 in the first half. It's going to be a nice challenge for the Golden Eagles.
Sims 1 on 2. 2 to shoot. Got to get rid of it. Burns from 3, short. And that is how the first half will end, with Marquette leading 48-40, but Chicago State hanging in there. But Rousey's been the story. 17 points in this first half, Stephen.
And all those are good shots. Those are the only heat check he put up was that last one, but pretty solid on the half.
Coming up, Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report, Big East freshman fundamentals, plus first half highlights and analysis. That's all coming up in a matter of moments. Again, Marquette with a big win on Monday. They are up by 8 on their home floor in Milwaukee against Chicago State. Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report coming up next. Flying high on their home floor at the moment, up by 8 on Chicago State. We take a look at our first half stats, and both teams shooting better than 50%, Stephen, but the ball just not sticking with Marquette. That's really the only difference in the ball game right now.
Yeah, I agree. That 12 assists is really impressive in the first half, and you know, they're finding the seams in the defense of the Cougars and taking advantage of it.
Not a lot of turnovers. It's been a very clean game from both teams. 4 turnovers by Chicago State, just a couple by the Marquette Golden Eagles. Again, Andrew Rousey, 17 points. He's had 20 points or more in all but one game, and that he had 16 on Monday.
Yeah, that's an indication of a sense of urgency. A senior, understand this is his last go-around, so he's leaving everything on the floor. And a guy can just flat out shoot the rock.
He's 5 of 11 from distance today. 1 for 1 with his left hand.
I'm telling you, it's got to be one of the top 5 most unique plays in college basketball.
Trying to go down low with Deontay Simmons. Howard nearly forcing a turnover. And Chicago State sticking with Rob Shaw coming out of the break. He had such a difference in that first half for Chicago State.
Yeah, it brought a lot of energy off the bench, and you know, once he got a couple passes to go, it seemed like his offense followed.
Sims misses his first shot of the second half. Barely seen the junior Anthony Harris. He's only played 4 minutes, and he started this game.
Oh my goodness.
Shaw throwing the elbow on Adam. There's Howard. Knocks his first 3 down in the second half.
Well, that's tough when you go to the deck and get cracked like that and don't come up with the loose ball. Sakara Annam using his size advantage in that situation.
Used his redshirt year last year, Sakara Annam, to bulk up a little bit. Showed it.
Yeah, they're going to need it to undersize forward in the Big East, where Marquette has a little bit of a depth issue up front. He's really going to be important.
Montana Bird got fouled. Sam Hauser looked like he was in the right place, but Bird got one of the chops as we go back to Marcus Howard.
Well, this is why loose balls are so important, because you get an extra opportunity, an extra possession, and when you have shooters like Marcus Howard, you know, that's the difference in a 3-point deficit or not. It's just, you got to come up with those loose balls. Good job by the Golden Eagles.
His 6 out of 8 is Marcus Howard so far from distance today. All 18 points coming from beyond the arc. Another foul down low on Marquette. Pick up Matt Helt. 11-point lead right now from Marquette. Trying to get this ball in bounds has been tough for Chicago State. 2 straight possessions. Bailed out with a foul moments ago.
It seems like the Golden Eagles are really fighting through screens with a sense of urgency.
And you know, Steve Wojciechowski wants to keep the defensive intensity up for all 40 minutes today. As Bird, an air ball from 3, out of bounds off the hands of Burns. Marquette basketball.
It's good defensive possession. You know, Chicago State having to shoot that towards the end of the shot clock, and when you can get your guys to sit down and defend throughout a possession, that's a good sign.
Annam hangs with the right hand. Nope. Nearly an offensive rebound by Helt. Shaw running the point. Sims draws contact. He'll go to the line and shoot a couple. But Steve Wojciechowski at the beginning of the game, we were talking about this. He wants Chicago State to shoot threes. If they make them, hey, tip your cap.
Right.
But that's the kind of game you want. You want to force them to shoot threes.
You're right. And see, an interesting thing in the first half, Chicago State had 14 points in the paint compared to Marquette's 12. So And that's what got Chicago State back into this game. It wasn't necessarily the three-point line. It was that they were getting looks at the bucket. Deontay Simmons got a couple dunks in there. And where's Jelani Pruitt had a couple putbacks. So I like the approach by Steve Wojciechowski. His guys have to do it.
First trip to the line for Sims. He's perfect, 2 for 2. He's got 18 points. 18 matching with Marcus Howard for a game high. Chicago State going back into the zone. It was very successful midway through that first half. Howard knocks down another 3.
Wow, he is so much fun to watch. I mean, they do a great job of bringing the big up for the pick and roll quickly. Chicago State just has not adjusted.
Shaw, tough run over the right hand. And Marcus Howard, he and his brother Jordan, who came into today's game, the NCAA active leader in three-pointers. Hauser throws it away. Rare turnover. Shaw with a right hand. But you can imagine kind of the pickup games that Marcus and Jordan would have in their front yard growing up.
Oh, yeah. And Jordan probably, you know, being the older brother, because I had one of those. That's not always fun.
No.
But that's probably why Marcus is such a competitor to this day.
Go back and forth, shooting threes, shooting free throws. I'm sure.
And talking too, you know that.
Oh, absolutely. They had to have had some kind of a scoreboard going with each other as we go back to Marcus.
See, Marcus Howard is equally effective off the bounce or catch and shoot. So when you got a guy that quick and he's that low to the ground, Jeff, you almost have to bring another defender to try to get the ball out of his hands.
Howard has scored Marquette's last 9 points. The only man trailing Jordan Howard in the three-point department for active players was Andrew Rousey, who's got the basketball right now. And he walked with it, went for the pump fake, elevated too much. That's his first turnover of the game.
And I think, you know what? I think he kept his foot down. It just looked awkward. You know, and you talked about his first turnover tonight, but he had 10 in the previous 2 games combined. So, you know, I think Coach Wojciechowski doesn't like it, but I think he'll take that.
Rousey handling the ball a lot better. Shaw nearly lost it.
Well, Theo, John, and Matt Helt and Hauser have done an excellent job on pick and roll defense.
Hauser helping out down low. Theo John knocked it away. Might have picked up Hauser with a personal first. Nope, they'll pick up Theo John. And for Theo, that is his 3rd personal.
I just like the way that Theo John is. I mean, he is showing big on that pick and roll defense. You have rarely seen a Cougar come off of that high screen and roll and turn the corner.
Now Pruitt checks back in. Played a big role on the baseline in that first half. Couple of putbacks. And now Jamal Cain will check in for Hauser. Yet to see Greg Elliott in this second half. He was really good in that first half, especially with his assists. 5 assists.
I mean, when you have a freshman that comes off the bench like that and you provide that kind of energy and you gain the trust of your older teammates because you're willing to share the basketball, it's going to go a long way to getting him increased playing time.
Going to stay with Marquette. A lot of driving and kicking from Marquette on that particular sequence. Jamal Cain also with a good first half. 8 minutes, had 5 points and an assist. Howard trying to knife his way through Glenn Burns. 7 to shoot. Rousey rises just inside three-point range, knocks down the deuce.
He got the matchup he wanted. Simmons came out on him on the switch. He just took his time and got to his spot.
Rousey with 19. We came on the air today, Stephen, talking about the guard play for Marquette. Pruitt driving. Nope. Cain with a rebound. Howard and Rousey combined for 40 points so far. Theo John couldn't finish off the alley-oop.
Pretty good looking adjustment by Theo John.
Very athletic at the rim.
Yes. It's tough for a big man to catch and move like that.
Pruitt with a left hand over John, and a foul underneath. And a foul, it'll stay with Chicago State, but Rousey has found his legs. 19 points for the senior for Marquette. 11-point lead for Marquette over Chicago State. Flurry of threes raining down for the Golden Eagles. And this weekend it's Super Saturday on Fox. It all starts with Oklahoma and TCU in the Big 12 Championship and a college hoops battle between Ohio State and Wisconsin, followed up by the Buckeyes and Badgers in the Big 12 Championship game. All goes down this week's Super Saturday on Fox. Big 12 championship game should certainly be a good one, thanks to this guy, Baker Mayfield. He's had a pretty good season this year. And, I mean, the Vegas prognosticators even took down the odds to put money on Baker Mayfield because they think he's going to win it.
Wow. And that's something to be said. But you know what? I know they beat TCU early in the year. It's tough to beat a good football team twice. That's going to be a heck of a championship game.
TCU's got some great defenders, too. Jamal Cain trying to drive, and they'll get a foul on Deontay Simmons on that baseline drive. And then a pair of Big Ten games. Badgers, Buckeyes, and hoops, and then the nightcap football, too.
Yeah, and I'll refrain from saying anything because I know I'm in the state of Wisconsin. And the Badgers are undefeated.
Well, you're going football, okay.
Yeah, I'm going football.
Abstain courteously.
Yes. And that ought to give some people some indication of where I think that game might go.
State of Delaware abstains courteously. Sakar Annam with a nice offensive rebound, and Steve Wojciechowski entrenching himself in Wisconsin. Fourth season as the head coach in downtown Milwaukee.
Bringing a nice toughness to this program.
And with a drive, foul before the Theo John putback dunk. So Sakar Annam taking his opportunities on offense when they become available. We've seen him drive quite a bit in this game so far, Stephen.
Yeah, because the defense of Chicago State continues to shift, and Sakar Annam knows that he's not going to sit outside and shoot a bunch of threes. He's going to put pressure on the defense and get to the rim. Straight line drives for Sakar Annam. And young viewers watching the game, there's a role for a player that the coach knows exactly what you're going to do every game. You can get playing time in that role, and that's what Sakar Annam has figured out here for Coach Wojciechowski.
Annam checks out for the moment. The freshman Greg Elliott gets his first action in this second half. Really good in the first half. Just 1 point, but 5 assists. Played good defense, especially on Fred Sims. Now it's Cain on Sims as part of that zone. Glenn Burns trying to hit the cutter. Out of bounds. Going back to Marquette. Jalen Stevens-Holmes was not where Burns thought he was going to be.
Yeah, they just weren't on the same page that time. But again, Marquette doing a pretty good job of showing bodies on the dribble drive penetration.
Howard stops and pops. That guy cannot miss from 3 so far tonight. He's now 8 out of 10. Timeout, Chicago State. Marquette continuing to dial it up from 3. They lead the Big East over 10 a game. They're up by 15. Hoops on FS2 is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. 15-point lead for Marquette at the moment on their home floor over Chicago State, and the threes continue to drop for the Golden Eagles as we take a look at our Jeep Grand Cherokee stats comparison. Look at those threes, Stephen.
A lot of teams in college basketball can't hit 14 to 27 in practice, let alone a game like this. This is an outstanding shooting club, and they just continue to look for their shots.
Elliott with a block, his first of the night. He had 4 on Monday. Up ahead, Jamal Cain leaves it off to Elliott. Beautiful passing by the freshman.
Hey, these two wings right here, Jeff, they could be special. If they can continue to work, they have a natural chemistry among the two.
Worked together in the offseason program and now starting to show their skills in the regular season. Tough shot, Montana Bird, and Rousey, the smallest man on the floor, comes away with the rebound.
See, this is where Chicago State got into trouble against Drake, where they went into scoring droughts.
Elliott rises up from the baseline.
Boy, he left his defender, Jalen Stevens-Holmes. Got him out of his Nikes.
Another great play by the freshman, Greg Elliott. Block on one end, a dunk on the other. 5 assists in the game, doing everything. Sims, one-man wrecking crew, able to make that shot. Ends a 10-0 run for Marquette.
I know the players, they may not have picked up on this, but every time Sims goes left, he's shooting the jumper. When he goes right, he's trying to get to the rim.
Rousey going around the defense and a goaltend. Rousey's got 21 points as we see the freshman Elliott again.
Well, Greg Elliott showing you what the future looks like from the wing position. Doing a great job getting the fake. Leaves his defender on the floor with an impressive finish.
Check the ankles of Jalen Stevens-Holmes.
He's going to the bench right now, so I think you're right.
Sims trying to go baseline on Kane, who's done a nice job on Sims with all that length. Tough shot over the top. Deontay Simmons makes the bucket.
See, even when Simmons got that shot off Theo John, had a hand up, was in his face. The intensity level on the defensive end here in the second half has been stellar by the Golden Eagles.
Hauser ready to check back in. Hauser has been almost a non-factor on offense as Kane underneath. The foul counted. He'll go to the line. They haven't needed Hauser. It's been Rousey and Howard that have done it all. But now Jamal Kane getting into the action. Another freshman for Marquette. At home, but as we go in the huddle with Steve Wojciechowski, wants the defense to stay intense.
This lineup, you're switching 1 through 5. With Sims, you're not just giving him a drive, but make him drive. High hands, that's just like you've been doing. That's good. Okay, look, they got 9 points in 8 minutes. Let's shut him out this 4 minutes. Hard, fellas, hard. Let's go.
They've done an excellent job, have the Golden Eagles on this young man. Only 1 of 4 here in the second half. And so viewers at home understand how tough college basketball is. Your coach is saying, don't give him a drive, but make him drive. Think about that for a second. Don't give him a drive, but make him drive. So you're encouraged to make him drive, but you can't let him drive all the way to the rim. That's how difficult college basketball is.
Multiply that by about 100, you got the NBA.
That's a good point.
There's Sims. Fires from 3 short. Rousey with a long rebound. Nearly thought about a pull-up 3. Instead, Elliott gives it up to Hauser, and out of control was Greg Elliott. And an offensive foul on Greg Elliott.
One of the few things that he's done that was a tough decision there in that situation. He had the right idea, but you have to jump stop in the paint. And if you leave your feet, you got to go to score. Great job defensively, as you saw the numbers there by Marquette on Chicago State's leading scorer.
Sims 4 of 11 from distance so far today. Other than Sims, there's only been 2 Chicago State players to even attempt a 3. Active hands. There's Greg Elliott. 2-on-1. Elliott. Showtime. Second dunk of the half for the freshman.
I'm telling you, he is long, anticipates well. You can tell he's paying attention in the scouting report because he seems to be in the right place all the time.
4 steals a night ago, altered that shot, but Deontay Simmons cleans it up. 20-point lead for Marquette. Just over 10.5 minutes to go. Hauser been quiet today, short on his 3. Hauser after his career-high 30 on Monday, has just 2 points. That was just his 3rd shot.
And I'm telling you, he rolled that ankle early. And he's been solid on the defensive end, but he hasn't been as aggressive as we've grown accustomed to seeing him.
4 points, 3 assists. Rousey thought he had himself a steal. Greg Elliott again on the other end.
Scouting report right there. Knows to shoot the gap in that situation. Stretches out with a great length. A lot of upside in his game.
There's a 3, and it rims in and out. Offensive rebound by Simmons.
I like Deontay Simmons. He's got the offensive rebound there, kept the ball high, good fundamentals on the follow-up.
One of 4 seniors on the Chicago State team. Double-doubles in 2 of his last 3 games, Deontay Simmons. Be a factor in the whack. Rousey fouled on his drive, and it was before the shot. Trayvon Bell, freshman, with a personal foul. Chicago State trying to improve their program. Again, this is a program that has been in transition for a long time. Only a handful of players returning from last year's team. Went just 1-13 in the WAC last year as ball off of Chicago State. Losses this year against Iowa, Purdue, Notre Dame, Northern Iowa.
I mean, that's Notre Dame, Purdue, Iowa, who's down a little bit as of late, but they will improve. Young team. Chicago State, one of the questions I had is how do you keep these guys' confidence level up? Not getting pounded so much, but they seem to be rounding into shape quite nicely against Drake, and especially here in the first half. They were game.
Yeah, last year just 6-26. They've had just a couple of wins in the WAC over the last few years. Tracy Dilley's got his Cougars playing hard tonight, though. Burns drawing the contact, and he'll go to the line and shoot a couple. They'll pick up Rousey with his personal foul.
And Burns is smiling because he knows he got away with one right there. Seen a couple guys take a page out of Rousey's book. Give it back to the Golden Eagles.
You know, Dildey trying to rebuild this program. It's a program that doesn't raise a lot of money. 6th lowest in the NCAA last year, averaging just over $7 million that they raise in a year, and that's with guaranteed games and whatnot. So he's dealing with a lot at the university level.
Yeah, because the school in itself has really seen their enrollment drop really far, and they're dealing with funding issues and all sort of things. So it's not just on the athletic side, it's school-wide.
And he's done a good job of keeping the positive vibes within this program. And again, all his players have to look at is his right hand. Hey, fellas, I've done it. I know what I'm doing.
Yes,
he's not showing us right now.
Right. But no, he definitely knows what he's doing.
Elliott fires from 3. Couldn't hit it. His game today has been on the defensive end and a couple of dunks. Burns inside to Shaw. Nifty pass, but a walk. Shaw with a nice no-look pass, but Deontay Simmons moved with it without dribbling as Adam will check in for Jamal Cain. 8th turnover by Chicago State. It's been a relatively clean game in terms of the turnovers for both teams.
It really has, and it's been an issue with Marquette handling the basketball, but now they're going to get some good minutes here because Chicago State changing up the defense, turning up the full court pressure a little bit.
Chicago State averaging nearly 15.5 turnovers a game. Marquette at 13 turnovers a game. Rousey, wide open look from 3. Drills it. 26 for Rousey.
Can't go underneath the screen. You got to go over the top. And if they do, Rousey's going to have a night like we're seeing.
6 for 12 from beyond the arc now for Andrew Rousey. Marquette up by 22, and some more program records after that 3 from Rousey.
Well, you know, Rousey getting it in and ties the last team to hit 15 threes was that 09 squad. Jarrell McNeil, Lazar Hayward, Wes Matthews, Maurice Aker. Boy, that was a great squad.
Jimmy Butler, too.
Oh, I missed Jimmy in there. Okay.
He wasn't hitting any threes that game over Cincinnati back in 2009 when they had 15 the last time.
You know, and he didn't stretch the floor like that in college. He's more of a undersized four. He's really developed his game.
It was the last time that Marquette hit 15 threes back in 2009, January the 4th. Matt Helt checks back in. I mean, you still got 8 minutes and 13 seconds to go to hit your 16th. I think Marquette is going to eclipse and shatter this record tonight.
Unless Chicago State can put 6 defenders on the floor, I think you're right, because Marquette has just done an excellent job of picking their poison. You know, they haven't forced the issue.
And they're hitting a high percentage too. 15 threes they've hit out of their 30, shooting 50% from beyond the arc today. Marquette looking good here this second up. They're up by 19 on Chicago State. Seeing quite the trend here in Milwaukee tonight, and it's been the splash of the net from Marquette. They've hit 15 threes in this ball game. Chicago State was trying to hang tough early in that first half, but 15 threes matching a school record, Stephen Bardo, and they are going to eclipse that and then some tonight against Chicago State.
You know, when you have guys that are willing to share the basketball, and you have that many skilled shooters, in particular Marcus Howard and Andrew Rousey, you know, when the ball can move like that and those guys get multiple touches, it's going to be really difficult to beat them.
Howard's got 24 points. He's only had one shot today, Stephen, from inside the three-point range.
And, you know, all of his shots have been really high percentage because the ball is swinging. He's getting good looks. And he really hasn't. He's only put it on the deck one time.
He hasn't had to force anything whatsoever. Everything's been given to him because of good ball action by Rousey and company. There's another good look from Howard, and he knocks another one down. 9 threes in the game for Howard.
Wow. It's so amazing when you see a guy can shoot the ball that effortlessly and continues to get those looks. I mean, this was a game, ladies and gentlemen, right at the end of the first half, but three-point shooting has blown it wide open.
The intensity on the defensive end has been consistent, too, from Marquette all night as Elliott skies for another rebound. Howard trying for his 10th, a little short. How about another shot? 30 for Marcus Howard.
Kind of like watching Steve Stricker swing the golf club. Marcus Howard's jumper is a thing of beauty, man. No wasted motion. Pops straight up and down. Reaches into the cookie jar every time with that follow through.
Speaking into the homes of Wisconsin natives with Steve Stricker. Very nicely done.
Oh, you know him. But you know Steve Stricker where he went to school now.
Howard again. Couldn't get it. And a foul on Elliott.
Steve Stricker's in the Illini. He's from Madison, Wisconsin, but he's in the Illini. Look at this follow through. I mean, no wasted motion on his jumper, and that's what makes it so difficult for defenders to get to him.
That first one that went down, the school record for threes in a single game with 16, that he just is playing with that record now. That was number 17.
Yeah, why not? I mean, when you got it going. And, you know, Marquette not looking to embarrass anybody. They're looking to get sharp in preparation of the gauntlet that is the Big East Conference.
Well, in the last 3 games, go back to the LSU win, final game in Maui. Rousey puts up 30. Monday, another guy scores 30 in Sam Hauser. And now it's Marcus Howard. You've got 3 30-point scorers in 3 different games, and they're all 3 different players.
Yeah, so again, that talks to them sharing the basketball. Everybody buying in on the same page. I have a feeling Harry Frawling not only is going to add depth, he's going to add a little bit of spacing as well. Being able to step away from the bucket a little bit. Oh, my goodness.
Come on, Marcus Howard, have a night. 33 for the sophomore.
Well, and you see him, he's not like all boisterous or anything. He's pretty serious, pretty locked in.
Sims drives, nope. Howard with another rebound. Good feed. Elliott lost it on the way up, though. Kane trying to battle. It's going to stay with Marquette. That thing had signs of beauty written all over it. Try it again for Howard.
I mean, that's
his most contested shot of the night, though.
Yeah.
And there was still nobody even close.
Yeah, they just, I don't know. It's
Howard underneath gave it up. He doesn't want a two-pointer. Burns fouled on his drive. Everything from Howard has been from beyond the arc. He doesn't want any two-pointers.
No, and he's trying to be a little too unselfish, I think. Yeah. Keep letting it fly. And, you know, your coach will get you out when he thinks it's right, but let it fly. I mean, he saw Fred Sims heat up in the first half, and he was like, you know what? I know Fred can shoot the rock a little bit, but so can I.
Well, and now if you're Andrew Rousey, who scored 30 a couple of games ago against LSU, he's 4 points away from 30. You think he's going to try and go get his with 6 and change to go while he's on the bench now, but he'll get some time maybe.
Yeah, he might get back in, and, you know, it's going to be interesting. You see where Coach Wojciechowski's sitting on the bench. He's talking to Cam and talking to some other guys. I think he's trying to maybe throw Cam in the game here pretty soon.
Camerata is going to get an opportunity in this game. You got to believe. Nearly up by 30 points for Marquette. Marcus Howard, he has been the story tonight for the Golden Eagles. And this was an 8-point game at the half as Howard traveled with it. Marquette has just opened it up in this second intermission, and Chicago State got cold shooting. They've only had 19 points in the second half.
Yeah, Marquette very solid defensively, and this is a team, we talked about it early. Chicago State struggles to score the basketball in spurts and dry spells often.
Inside, Burns couldn't hit the bunny. 5 for 21 from the floor in this second half. A foul on Theo John, trying to get position on Deontay Simmons. You look big picture of what college basketball is all about this year in Big East, of course, but Villanova beating Penn earlier today. Seen before our game on FS2. They are undefeated at 7-0. Duke battling with Indiana at the moment. There's your top 10. A couple of teams ranked in the top 25 within the Big East Conference. Xavier, the big win last night.
Huge win against a very good Baylor team. One of the toughest to play against in the country with that vaulted zone.
Open 3 for Anthony Harris, the junior. His first points of the game. Trayvon Blewett playing at a very high level for Xavier early on in this season.
I would agree with that. Tyreek Jones up front, really holding down the interior. Musketeers.
And Kaiser Gates had a good game last night, too, against Baylor.
Kaiser Gates, one of the better shooting big men in the Big East Conference.
Simmons over the top. Picks up a personal foul. Chicago State. Now into the bonus. Free throws coming. We talked about the Big East. In the top 25, Villanova at number 4, Xavier at 21, Creighton at 25. But Providence and Seton Hall receiving votes as well. Creighton being led by freshman guard Mitch Ballack. He was really good this last week, freshman of the week. And Jalen Brunson just continuing to do what he does for Villanova.
I'm telling you, man, I call him slow motion. Because when you look at him, he doesn't look fast, but he's getting past all his defenders. He knows when to shoot. He knows when to go to the rim. He's an excellent passer. You know, he's more skilled than his father. His father, Rick Brunson, was a really good player. A journeyman in the NBA, I believe 7 or 8 seasons. But this young man, he's got a nose for the rock, and he knows when to score.
Had an opportunity to learn over the last couple of days, too. He was starting as a freshman, but Archie Diacono, who was there for 4 years, won so many games with Villanova. He was able to learn under him for a couple of years. But your Big East players of the week, we're talking about Brunson, just how well he has done, and won the MVP of the tournament in the battle for Atlantis. And Mitch Ballack again, 22 against UCLA last week.
And you know what? To me, I think Creighton is a surprise of the league thus far. I mean, they beat a Northwestern team that's struggling a little bit, but went to Northwestern and won that game. You know, beat UCLA. And so, you know, I think Creighton, Coach McDermott doing an outstanding job here early.
Such an underrated player, too, and Kyrie Thomas doesn't get the play that he probably should. Great player.
You're right. I think one of the best two-way players in the Big East.
Very good defensively. Sharing the basketball, Chicago State out of bounds. And it will go to Marquette. They have opened it up here at home. They're up by 25 against Chicago State. 62 Marquette comfortably in front of Chicago State. And Sunday, the NFL is on Fox, 1 Eastern. Most of the country will see Matt Ryan and the Falcons host the Minnesota Vikings. Then at 4 Eastern, it's America's Game of the Week from the Big Easy. Huge NFC South showdown. Cam Newton and the Panthers battle Drew Brees and the Saints. It all begins at 1 Eastern on Fox. Check your local listings. The game in your area. NFC South all muddled up. Saints, Panthers, Falcons all mixed in there. Tampa Bay at 4-7, but that's South. They can go anywhere at this point, and you know they're all going to be playing against one another late in the season, too.
Yeah, I was surprised by the Falcons. They lost a couple early, and people kind of wrote them off, starting to catch fire here. Matty Ice returning to form.
Julio Jones, I mean, he's going for 250. No one could stop that. You got a fun game coming up against the Vikings. That'll be the first one on Fox on Sundays. Cam Murata is into the ball game. Junior in this program from Mequon, just up the road from downtown Milwaukee.
And works his tail off. So I'm always glad to see when he gets in the game and gets an opportunity.
Sakar Enum trying to drive, got the right hand. He's done that all night long, finally pays one off.
Yes, he has. And even though he's going to be scouted for that in the Big East, he can still put pressure on the D doing that.
Here comes Enum on the other end. Elliott tries to give and go. Enum lost it on the way up, blocked away again by Bird, but fouled. They'll have Glenn Burns on the personal underneath. Bird was over the top getting the block. Enum going to the line.
Now that was a great example, Jeff, of the way the game has changed. Because a simple 2-on-1 fast break would be one guy throwing a bounce pass for a dunk. That time they were confused because they're not in that situation a lot anymore. They don't teach 2-on-1, 3-on-2 fast break situations. Guys don't run to the rim, so they're in unfamiliar territory. That's not just Marquette. That's the game in general today.
Mike Leledo checking in, getting his first action of the year. Talking about him potentially redshirting this year, but getting some minutes. Late in this ball game up on Chicago State. Give him a little taste of the floor here in Milwaukee.
You see Marquette working on some zone defense. Having Elliott and Kane on the back line.
And forcing a turnover as Chicago State tried to get it into the corner. This was the story of the night. Marcus Howard, school record 11 threes tonight.
And when you've seen a guy get hot like Marquette has had, Hauser had it last time, as you mentioned. Against LSU, it was Rousey. Then Marcus Howard's like, look, threes are reign supreme, so let's keep it going.
11 for 15, shattering the school record, which was 9, last done by Steve Novak a few years ago.
Boy, did he have a heck of an NBA career, Steve Novak.
No doubt about that.
I mean, man, he played on different teams, but really found a niche with the Knicks and the Rockets.
Three-point sharpshooter, kind of that Kyle Korver type of player.
And 6'10", so he had really good size, being able to stretch out the floor.
Underneath, Joyce with the offensive rebound, and John Joyce getting a bucket and an offensive rebound just into the ball game for Chicago State. For Marquette, Coming up next, they've got Georgia.
Oh.
That'll be a test.
Yeah, tough SEC team. And Yatin Mateen, I think is how you say his name.
Oh, Sakar Adam elevates. He's in double figures.
You know, and I've seen Sakar smile on the Jumbotron between, you know, timeouts, but he doesn't change his facial expression at all. I want to see a growl or a smile or something.
Jumper too strong. Adam with another rebound. That's 9 for Adam to go with his 13 points. One away from his first career double-double. Leledo for 3, too strong. The folks that have hung with it crowd-wise would have been excited to see Leledo knock down his first shot as a Golden Eagle. That one rattles in for Chicago State.
Well, we saw in the first half, Chicago State was game. Fine, Fred Sims got some threes and got to the halftime break under double digits. But then when you get shooting threes like Marquette can.
Adam with an offensive rebound to give himself his double-double. 13 points, 10 rebounds. He'll go to the line. Marquette coming up. They've got Georgia. And then some more non-conference action. Vermont will have that game for you on FS1.
The Catamounts, they've been good for years, so that's not going to be an easy one either.
Wisconsin, not what they have been in the past, but that is still a great rivalry game. And an hour and a half separating between Milwaukee and Madison. And that one for you on FS1 as well.
And I will be at that one. I love that matchup. I don't care what the teams are coming in. A lot of state pride on the line.
3 ball by Joyce. He's got 5 points off the bench for Marquette, with very minimal difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Coming out of the gate today, just a different feel than what it was on Monday, where they escaped with an overtime win over Eastern Illinois. No escaping this one. They played great.
Oh, they did play great. And again, they got their legs back. You can see Rousey, the way that he was playing, pep in his step. He got a little bit more rest and got their body clocks back on Central Time Zone.
Gonna let the clock run out here. Elliott tosses it up into the air. They have a shot clock violation. There's still 4/10 left on the shot clock. Starting going into the school anthem there for a moment, but this game is going to end with a final score 95 for Marquette, 69 for Chicago. It was raining threes from the outset.
Raining threes and an underrated defensive presence by the Golden Eagles in the second half.
We'll be back in just a moment. Marcus Howard, 33 points tonight. He'll join us after these words from Milwaukee.
Man, Greg Elliott, 9 assists.
Marquette with a 95-69 win. They've won 3 straight ball games. Huge night tonight from the sophomore Marcus Howard. 33 points and a school record 11 threes.
Yeah, he got going early and catch and shooter off the bounce. Was feeling good about himself, and then once he got hot, Chicago State couldn't close out quickly enough. This one off the baby toe, nothing but net.
Well, he had a good game on the floor, so he joins us courtside now as well. Marcus Howard, 33 points today, 11 threes. And, you know, after a tough, grinded-out kind of game on Monday, you guys came out, and it was just perfect today, it seemed like, from the opening tip.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we definitely want to come out aggressive. We know that we didn't play the best of our ability on Monday, so we wanted to make sure that today was different than Monday in the aspect of just playing hard, showing that care factor on the defensive end, and then just executing our offense.
You know, Marcus, when you get hot like that, do your teammates, are they looking for you? Does the coach say something in particular, or what is it? Just is it nonverbal? What is it?
I think it's nonverbal. I mean, I feel just we play so well together that we kind of just feed off each other and we find the open man. And I feel within the offense, Wojo lets us run. I think things just flow. And then when someone gets hot like that, it's not only me. Sam could get like that. Rouse could get like that. We have a lot of guys that can get like that. So I think just within the flow of our offense, I mean, we just find the open guy, and it just so happened to be me tonight.
It's 3 straight games with guys with 30 points. It was Rousey and Maui against LSU.
Yeah.
It was Hauser last time out against Eastern Illinois. Now it's you. Do you guys have some kind of side bet going on? Who's going to get 30 tonight?
No, I don't know. I mean, that's just what happens when you have players like that. I mean, I'm privileged to be able to play with guys like Sam and Drew. I mean, they make my job so much easier on the court. So I'm just blessed to be able to play with guys like that. And then just I really want to give a credit to our bench and our freshmen. I mean, Greg, Jamal, Theo really stepped up big for us tonight. I mean, Greg had 9 assists tonight. So, I mean, he really stepped up. And I'm really proud of him. And they're just growing as players.
So let me ask you something. Can you one-up your brother now with this performance?
I don't know. I mean, my brother's pretty good.
We know.
I love my brother. I mean, so much. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is definitely, I mean, once I go home for Christmas, it's definitely going to be a game I talk about with him. But he did have that 35 against UCLA, so that was pretty impressive. So I don't know. I don't know who's on the good side with the parents, with who's been playing better. So we'll wait to see on Christmas on what happens with that.
Bragging rights are on the line. Marcus, congratulations. Great game today. Way to feel it from 3 today. Get yourself another win.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
That is Marcus Howard joining us here from the table. We'll take a look at our final stats today as Marquette ends up beating the Chicago State Cougars by a final score of 95-69. Franchise in a school record 18 threes and 11 of those from Marcus Howard.
Yeah, they did a great job of finding one another. Rousey was the first half, and then all of a sudden, Marcus got hot, and they found him whenever he wanted the rock, and he was good from distance.
Those two, Howard and Rousey, combined for 59 points today. Chicago State outscored those two by just 10. Those guys were feeling it all night long, Stephen.
And you know what? If they continue to shoot the basketball like this, they can surprise a lot of teams in the Big East.
Well, once again, our final score from the BMO Harris Bradley Center in Milwaukee was Marquette 95, Chicago State 69. For Stephen Bardo and our entire crew, I'm Jeff Levering saying so long from Marquette. Golden Eagles have won 3 in a row.